yo, what up, good morning, TMG, ooh, right, what day is it, Tyler? Oh, it's my favorite day of the week, Wednesday, whoa, Wednesday, March 19th, 2025, look at that, another beautiful day, and to have a beautiful day, the last day of winter. The last day of winter. Winter is not coming. Winter is going away. Tyler, good, my co-host in the house. Tyler. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Waking up to some big green candles on the board. I did my NCAA Calcutta draft last night, so I've been crunching the numbers for a few days now. I did not watch a single game of men's college basketball this year, but now I feel like I'm an expert after a few hours of data analysis. I'm ready to grill our guest, Billy Betts.
Let's go.
Basketball picks. So excited.
Yeah. Let's see if he's got some alpha for us on the lines on Myriad too for the Texas and all that shit. I don't know anything about NBA. I know even less about the March Madness stuff. I just know Twitter is offering me $50 to start a bracket. So you get that too. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. I mean, hey, $50. That's like one coffee in Montreal now. We're like,
jeez,
like say 12 eggs. You know, it's a lot of eggs. You know, I can't believe. Can you believe it, Tyler? In this bear market, I see Bongo posting pictures of eggs on the timeline, like he's cooking eggs. Can you believe
flex? It's a huge
flex. People have the nerve to post that they're eating eggs on the timeline in the bear market. Man, do people just not think about man, this is crazy. Anyways, I thought Bungo was here. He's not. Anyways, tomorrow we have to make our ordinal special at some point. You know, maybe we'll
Why not today?
Because Mando's not here. We need him for pups. We're not letting Mando get away from this one. We're not. I think Mando's at a sex party in Portugal right now. So that's why he's not here today. He ended up taking himself. He got himself all excited yesterday on the show, and I think he eggs down 40%, but still outperforming ETH. Yeah, what's up with eggs being down? So eggs are down bad. I think that's good. Anyways, today on the show, today, what are we gonna talk about today? We're gonna talk about markets. We're gonna talk about crypto. We're gonna talk about macros. Is it Powell speaking today? Yeah, FOMC.
Big day.
Yeah,
Big day.
Or not, but so far, big day so far. And then, so funny. Bitwise just posted important reminder today. There will not be a meeting of 12 people voting on whether to start printing more Bitcoin. That's so good. That's genius. I love that. I will talk NFTs because NFTs are so back. 100 ETH sale. I love that. We'll talk about Tyler's top 100, and then we'll be joined by today's. They're not even a show partner. They're just coming on to shoot the shit with us because we may or may not be working on something enough for Myriad. So we're gonna have the Billy Betts team on today. So we're gonna try and get some alpha from them. Heads up, I'm pretty sure we all have some coins from them. So there's our disclosure. And then last but not least, Robit Lootbox spin today. Lucky winner today may leave with a CryptoPunk. I'm feeling good about it today. ETH had a good bounce. I feel like someone's gonna win a CryptoPunk today. So Tyler, we'll just go straight to you this morning. Let's see what you got for us.
For daily NFT and crypto and dollar.
Sorry guys, this show is powered by. Sorry, we have like this is Persian New Year's all week long. So yesterday was like Charsh Ambisturi, which is like the fire thing. So like you have to jump over fire and drink wine and eat some like a bunch of different sweets and stuff for good luck to celebrate renewal. And I had wine last night and I woke up all foggy this morning. So I'm getting old. I didn't even get like fucked up or anything. I just had a couple glasses of wine. I'm all foggy this morning. This show is powered by Galaxis. I got to shout out our sponsors. Come on. Galaxis is a Web3 platform empowering creators and brands to build unstoppable communities with full ownership and independence, trusted by icons like Donald Trump, Steve Aoki, Mike Tyson, and the NBA, shaping together the future of engagement. Also, Wallet Connect Wallet Connect is the connectivity network shaping the future of on-chain UX. If you've connected to a Web3 app, you've seen Wallet Connect. That blue logo, it's everywhere. An icon of trust in crypto, as recognizable as Visa at checkout. Want to learn more? Follow Wallet Connect on X and Telegram to stay ahead of what's next. Whoa, I am so good at this. Let's go.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tolerance on FOMO hour cause the kids can't miss.
Free to pass the barriers.
Yeah, folks, crypto majors very green here this morning ahead of today's big FOMC meeting happening later this afternoon. We've got Bitcoin up 3% at 84K, ETH up 8%, 2030, and rumored Kobe may have gone long. We'll have to chat about that. But now the leader is XRP up 14%. It reflipped Ethereum and FDV. And this is on the back of Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, announced this morning that the SEC is officially dropping their appeal against Ripple. So,
shit, we got some fucking Ukraine news just now too. Let's go. Sorry.
Nice. What was that?
Zelensky confirmed POW swap with Russia. Is that proof of work?
Prisoner of war.
Oh, so not
seems
bad.
like progress is being made on that front. We're still not quite at a ceasefire, but making progress, it seems. So I think markets are liking that here to a degree as well. Run through the rest of the headlines before we get into some of this major price action here. Xapo Bank debuted their Bitcoin-backed lending yesterday, up to $1 million with more user-friendly lending terms. I thought that was a big deal. Coinbase got a buy rating from investment firm Bernstein with a target price 69% higher, I think around $310. They're crediting Trump's crypto-friendly policies. On that same day, Coinbase, they keep shipping. They introduced verified pools as KYC verified liquidity pools, positioned as a way to reduce counterparty risk. That's powered by Base and Uniswap v4. In other headlines, Nasdaq requesting SEC approval for a Polkadot ETF. Kathy Woods said she wants to tokenize 2 of her funds at the Digital Asset Summit here in the back today. So Kathy's leaning into tokenization. The Justice Department dropped charges against the BitClout founder. BX Digital is also leaning into tokenized financial transactions. They got regulatory approval in Switzerland, and they're going to do that on Ethereum. So it still looks like Ethereum is going to be the leader for real-world assets on chain. And then North Carolina became the latest state to introduce a Bitcoin strategic reserve bill. This bill allocating up to 10% of the state's public funds for Bitcoin. So not a small amount there. In memes, meme coin majors, mostly green. Pepe leading the way, up 9%. Farcoin looking pretty strong here, dare I say, as well. It's up 24%, leading the AI board. This PVS token running this morning. I still know exactly what this thing is.
You kill me with that one. I don't know why.
I know that. And it's one of the top movers on Solana. In token airdrop and protocol news, Radium announced its own pump fund competitor called Launch Lab with customizable bonding curves and fees. That Ray token up about 12% on the news. Market like that. Solana, they teased their Seeker phone currently in test mode ahead of shipments starting this summer. Big day of Ray's news. Shout out to Mando. He's not here to celebrate, but Yeet formally announced their $7.7 million raise for its crypto casino and sportsbook, led by Dragonfly and angels such as Luca Netz, Brian Pellegrino, and maybe an angel co-host of mine as well. CrossMint raised $23 million as they look to simplify blockchain adoption. And AI-focused Halliday raised $20 million from A16Z, Anderson Horowitz, to fund their agentic workflow protocol. So some big raises there. Rounding this out in NFTs, there was some big news. I mean, majors kind of chopping up a little bit on the day, but Art NFTs had a huge day. There was another autoglyph sale, 100 ETH, 2 Fidenza sales, Hoodie 3D Punk at 222 ETH, and then a Skull plus Mask combo sold for 100 ETH right before the show. And folks, NBA Top Shot, blockbuster news. We've been waiting 4 years for this.
That news would have slapped in 2021, bro.
Moments are now tradable on OpenSea. They also shared instructions for users on how to bridge from their Dapper wallets over to OpenSea. So that was a big one. I am excited to see those moments start to trade over on OpenSea.
Wow. Dude, I like today. A day like today is a good day to have a good day. Don't you love that? A beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I mean, the sun is shining in Montreal. We'll have to see that. And there's a lot of good news, and my coins keep going higher. And I love that. My fart coin is really just the one. There's gonna be a point where this thing goes to $10 billion, and people are gonna be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Big if true.
Big if true, true if big, or 5. But at least that would be nice. I just wanted to run back to all-time high, just piss people off. You know what I mean?
You and me both, my friend.
I still have a chip on my back with OSF too on that one, so I just want to like fuck him up. You know what I mean?
How's AI 16Z and ARC bags are doing?
Yeah, dude. How's that doing, Ovi?
Sorry, we were in that trade. We were in that trade together.
Sorry, you guys were in that trade together, so it's okay. So I'm sorry, but I see. So I was talking about eggs, and I opened my timeline. It's Pio Vincenzo cooking up 6 eggs.
I saw that as well.
You saw that? The second I opened my, I'm fucking dying, dude. I opened my timeline. Is this? I'm like, yo, have you not seen the price of eggs, Pio? I think he buys them from the Amish or some shit. That's why he posted. Anyways, it's happening. I told you guys. Spring equinox. I literally called this when. First, I called the blood moon pump, and then called the spring equinox pump. That's just how it works. You know, that's just how it works. It gives vibes all across the board. Just quickly, I'll give the code now because I'm gonna forget to give you guys the codes. I'm tired of rugging you all with this Robit raffle code. So, the code today, you go to rafflebot at XYZ. It's very simple, guys. Every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, one lucky person that is listening to the show live, whether on video or audio, is allowed to enter a raffle, and you can either win usually Red Guy or a CryptoPunk. Last week we gave away a CryptoPunk, and so we picked someone, and there's a code every day. The code is Paris for the reason that we launched Myriad Markets with the Paris Blockchain Week, which is really cool. New contests are live. Check them out. But anyways, rafflebot.xyz, connect up, and then you can enter the raffle every day. Anyways, Tyler, shall we just start with the market real quick? I mean, it's a quick check-in, right?
Let's take a look. I mean, a lot of green on the board.
It feels good, honestly, even though it's not going to last. It just feels nice.
Yeah, so this is all leading up into FOMC. So yesterday we had kind of like a risk-off day selling, kind of across the board. Equities were down. Crypto majors were down ahead of just uncertainty into what Powell's going to say this afternoon. I guess my expectations are still fairly low. I think the markets aren't pricing in any kind of the markets are pricing in no action, no changes today. So any kind of a rate cut or hike would jar markets, certainly, if that were to take place. But that seems pretty unlikely. It's all going to come down to Powell's tone, effectively, and if he's opening the door for more dovish action going forward, or if he's coming across hawkish. So I feel like that's how it's been these last several meetings.
Yeah.
My gut is we'll see some volatility around it, but unless there's like some big surprise, probably going to stay in the range, right? Coming out of this, we'll see what other kind of macro headlines come out. Peace progress, trade war progress. Those are types of things that could help remove some of the hurdles, right? Those are some of the catalysts that could perhaps help drive us up. But man, Bitcoin up 4%, ETH up 8%, back over $2,000.
What does Kobe know?
Is that the Kobe candle?
This is the Kobe candle. I mean, what does Kobe know here, Tyler? There's I'm hearing things. I'm definitely hearing things here. Kobe might be a lot of things, but he's not exactly a gambler.
I was just about to say that. You beat me to it. Damn it.
That's your pasta from this morning, which killed me. So what's the story here, Tyler? You came up to the chat. You say Kobe's long $500 million worth of ETH. What's the source?
I don't know the source. I saw the tweet.
Yeah.
I saw the ETH was up. See the tweet. Like, wow. Okay. And then I go to Kobe's Twitter, and he's making a couple of shit posts that seem like he's either got a girlfriend. He's ready to be hurt again. And he's either got a girlfriend or he's long ETH. So I put the percentage that he's long ETH, I've got like 90% confidence. Now, is he actually long $500 million in ETH? I don't have much confidence in that number. I'm not really sure where that source came from. But it looks like he's long ETH. We don't know exactly how much. But man, that's got people excited again. And I don't know. So there was this Myriad market. I love this market actually for over under on the ETH Bitcoin ratio.
Good market, man.
Slamming my fist on the desk because I wanted to bet long and I just got busy yesterday. I was doing NCAA research And I really liked the over on that. And I mean, maybe this is dumb logic, but like, how much lower can this thing go?
I genuinely think that 1800 was rock bottom. That's just my personal thoughts, but I really think 1800 ETH was like rock bottom. I mean, rock bottom sentiment, rock bottom everything. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
look at
almost like
this.
the ETH Bitcoin ratio / ongoing narrative / ongoing jokes almost got to the point of it stopped being funny. It was just becoming
It
more
was not funny anymore. It was just beating a dead horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then one of the Blockworks analysts shared this. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find the tweet, but basically said they've run 3 digital asset summits. At each one, whenever the sentiment was that Bitcoin was the only asset that folks had conviction in, it was close to a bottom. And on yesterday's show, on yesterday's Underexposed, we had a long conversation about macro and crypto majors and what bags we have conviction in. And basically consensus was just Bitcoin and nothing else. So there are bottom signs out there. So hopefully, maybe the bottom is near specifically on some of these alts, but of course across the whole board. But I mean, are you going to bet money that the ETH Bitcoin ratio goes below 0.023? Like it was 44. One Bitcoin was 44 ETH.
Well, my only concern is 0.023 is a no, right?
Yeah, right on that number. Yeah.
And so 0.0229 is a no. So here what happens is if the market rallies, Bitcoin goes to 90K, what happens to that ratio? So it's not that ETH won't pump. It's the ratio, which is tricky. You know what I mean? But I agree with you in this essence. Like, technically, this could be it.
And now the market's already reacted. So 70. I don't like it nearly as much as 70%.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
You liked it here, right? In the
I liked
50s, 60s.
50s.
Yeah.
55.
You got to be early on those markets when they launch, because like when they launch at 50-50, you just gotta good money to be made here.
So that's gonna be a fun one to track. But yeah, like if we get, I think just we see people on crypto Twitter, of course, love to overreact, love narratives, but seeing a whale and one of the highest trust, highest reputation people out there long ETH, I don't know, it's a big deal.
I mean, for now, the source we don't know, but we know. Well, he did say like D Farm is quote tweeting him. So is Jazz.
So that's all the replies right there. Yeah.
Ready to be heard again.
Did you buy
ETH or meet someone hilariously? It is one of the two things. It's funny. Every time I buy ETH, well, it's been a while since I last did it. I'm ready to be heard again. It's like the common theme.
Yeah.
You know? So
it's good for the punk Bitcoin spread. The number one spread that I track on a daily basis. So punks are back to 77K. So Bitcoin's so we're within 10% now. I think they dipped about 15% below punks.
Dude, did you see that 3D sale yesterday? Sheesh.
Hoodie punks are on fire. 4 hoodie punks in the last 4 days.
Damn. That's amazing.
And a huge varieties. Those 3D glasses are a 90 ETH premium. So the normal hoodies were going for 130. And that one comes out at 222.
That's some nice pugs. God, I love pugs so much. Yeah, punks.
It's not just punks. Autoglyphs. 3 autoglyphs have sold.
Wait, what?
In the past few days.
I didn't know that. I saw 1. You tell me 3?
Yeah, 3 autoglyph sales.
Wow.
Might be
autoglyph spot here. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, 100 ETH. Damn.
That one was offer. That one's 103.
Wow, all 100 ETH. 99.9, 103, and 100. Jesus. I mean, it's a good price for it.
Isn't it funny how these collections, like, they won't see action for weeks, months. And then
herd mentality, brother. Typical. Like,
this is how it happens.
It's always the same thing, right? It's like, it's just always the same thing. It's funny because like rich people have like hella herd mentality. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, someone's got that watch, everybody's gonna have the same watch, or like someone's buying this punk, or like everyone's gonna have the same punk. It's always like that. And they FOMO the hardest.
I think it's also tied to this cheap ETH, right? So like in USD,
That too.
that was like if you are bullish ETH and you think the NFT will at least hold its value, right? Like that's, I mean, Autoglyph said 100. I like that trade, especially with ETH at 1800.
Yeah, but that's if you're buying in USD. Which you're right. Man, you know me, man. I've been itching for the punk floor for a minute. I'm very bullish on the fact because I'm a USD buyer here, and if I were to buy punks, I'm bullish on the fact that they bounced at like 70. What was the low here on punks? 60 something.
I mean, here's the punk. If you want to get Vanessa a punk,
Thank God she can't hear you.
3465. I just sent you the link. That's
I like that punk. Yeah,
not a bad one.
it's great. It's really nice. The ones I really like are these. I'll show you guys right now. Hold on. I really like the punks that are with the headband. Oh, those are the sales. But anyways, I gotta pick a punk to give away today, potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the yeah, I got my eyes on one, but it's just too expensive. It's here right there, you know. But these ones, I love those. Love the headband punks.
Yeah, relative to floor, it feels a little high.
It's a lot, right? Like 50 ETH when the floor is like 38 still, you know. I think that same punk sold back then here for 39.9 ETH. So person's trying to catch a nice little trade, rightfully so. Oh no, this one doesn't have an earring, so it's even like this one had an earring here. This one doesn't. But anyways, that's that on that front, Tyler. What else is new, Tyler? It seems like you had a lot to share.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at some of the top alt movers of the day. So Hype up 16%. They introduced some new staking tiers. The initial announcement just shared that you were perhaps going to get better discounted pricing on like perps trading, but the wink is maybe there's more to that, you know, ahead of potential future airdrops, point farming. It kind of got me thinking. So like I was staked Hypes. I have a decent Hype bag, full disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
I unstaked it just because I wanted the flexibility, you know, to be able to move in and out whenever I wanted without the 7-day cooldown period. But now I've just been holding it for months. I'm like, oh, I might as well be staked. So I don't know. I might restake if there's some hints at more incentives for doing that. But of course, you always have to be careful doing that. And then Radium was the other big alt. So
what was the news? What do you feel about that? I kind of want to stop there for a moment because share us the Radium news, and I kind of want to talk about this for a minute.
Yeah, we didn't get a whole lot of detail, but the news is they are launching their own pump fund competitor. It's called Launch Lab. It seems like it's going to have, you know, some differentiators between it and pump fund. They'll have customizable bonding curves, customizable fees. Not a huge surprise, right? Pump fund kind of came out with that announcement. What feels like a month ago now, that they were going to start developing their own LP pools and not just going straight to Radium. That was a blow to Radium because one of the primary bull cases was that pump fund would go to Ray. So not a huge surprise to see them clap back, but I mean, we've seen, like, I'm in these streets. I've seen the pump fund competitors come out. None of them have really gotten much traction.
I mean, remember when Dex Screener made Moonshot? It's called Moonshot, right?
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, Dex Screener has its own pump fund coming. And it was like literally a nothing burger. And people were like, oh, because it's Dex Screener is going to do well. But like, have you ever used Moonshot? But you've never even bought a coin that was Moonshot coin. Like the latest runners were all pump funds, like Prees and stuff.
I haven't used GTM, like the pumpkin team. I held the Pecan token at one point in time. I don't hold it anymore. Like, they're developing their own. So there's a lot of pump fund competitors out there. And
even on ETH, even on like on every chain, it just doesn't. The only pump fund, the only thing that's going to pick up is if pump fund was to open another chain, and it would be pump fund itself.
Clanker had a decent amount of success on base. I think they've been probably one of the higher performers.
This is true.
But there is a need for more customization in pump fund token launching. Right? I do fully agree with that. Like more control over bonding curves, more control over like token supplies kept by the team at launch. I think several founders, probably more so in like the AI meme streets, who are like building projects alongside their token. have voiced concerns, with the limitations pump fund has.
Yeah.
So I get that, but it's going to take a lot to actually steal market share from pump fund.
Yeah. It's like everybody loves to complain about pump fund or like trying to compete with pump fund, but absolutely no one is capable of like or able to like build like this pump fund competitor, it seems. You know what I mean, Tyler? It's like that's my thoughts on this. I was like, oh, cool. I don't think like the only reason people were using Radium in the first place is it by accident. Do you even know someone using Radium? Like, do you go on Radium to swap a token? You go on Jupiter as an aggregator.
I have swapped on Radium when I'm having difficulties on Jupiter, but Jupiter is 98%.
Yeah, but I would say like no, but that was early days too. Like, yeah, Jupiter, like, but even today's Jupiter, like you've ever like, you know what I mean? And like you said, I only use it if there's an issue on the main thing. So I'm just like thinking here, like what they can do. And so I see it that way. And I'm like, well, sure. I wonder what it's gonna require for a pump fund competitor. I just don't see it. What if pump fund, like we saw the Barra chain thing? What if pump fund, like literally the real pump fund opens on ETH, Base, Barra, Sonic, Monad, which technically they could, right? It's just total domination. People are just going to use that one, no?
It's tough to see the path right now, especially with pump fund kind of having the token carrot still hanging out in front of everyone.
That too.
So like how did Blur come out and steal OpenSea share, right? OpenSea, I think, had higher fees, and then Blur had the token, right? It was the no fees plus token.
Right.
Like, I don't think people are widely complaining about pump fund fees, and pump fund still has its token in front of it.
Yeah.
It's a harder pitch right now.
Yeah, I agree, right? We're getting good comments saying like Clanker is a pump fund competitor. You're right. Like Clanker is a good counter example that worked very well on base. So that's a good example. Network effects, but that would be the best moment for as pump fund usage at its lowest. Is it like even it is at its lowest it's been, but it's still very high in the grand scheme of things. So it's still really high. Like versus market, it's not at its lowest because market was hot, it was high, and then market's low, it's still high-ish. So I don't know. It's interesting. There's definitely a lot of things they could do better, but I'm sure Alan and his team know. Anyways, the code today, rafflebot.xyz. The code is Paris. I just set up a nice box while Tyler and I were talking about this pump fun shit. And it's good. I see Bunchu in the famine, the stew. We'll get to you guys in a minute to talk about Billy bets, etc. Hope you guys got alpha for us in the show. I got some bets to place. Anyways, Tyler, there was still a skew of things you talked about this morning. What else? What do you want to touch on here?
I thought Bernstein calling for Coinbase to outperform was an interesting story on the day. I actually wrote my newsletter about that this morning. So if you're not familiar, Bernstein is an investment firm, 800 billion assets under management. So they are, I think, top 12 from like a ranking standpoint. So they set Coinbase as outperform. They gave them a $310 price target. Coinbase stock was at 182 earlier this month.
Wow.
How it's doing today.
Coinbase stock. It's up to nearly 3 points.
Yeah, just in line with Bitcoin. But the factors driving their bullish stance, I thought, was the most interesting part. So they pointed to the Trump administration, crypto-friendly policies. Not a huge surprise there.
Yeah.
Market dominance, Coinbase controlling 66% of the U.S. crypto market, revenue growth, 130% year over year. But then the one that hit me the hardest was reshoring of crypto markets. So global crypto liquidity, trading activity shifting back to the U.S., more onshore build out of crypto and crypto teams. So I think that's one of the more exciting trends happening in the broader crypto space right now. It's one that doesn't catch a whole lot of chatter on a day-to-day basis because it's one of those trends that's going to take months and quarters to play out. But that's the kind of thing that gets me excited. I think that is aligned with the excitement we see from the institutional players at conferences like DAS. It's happening right now. And like we've got, again, we've got this divide of the trenches warriors are depressed. The institutions are more excited than they've ever been because, again, we can actually build crypto companies in the United States again. So it's a big deal. Just like to remind folks about that. especially
Yeah.
in the days where price action can be a little rough. I think this is also like I've been going back and forth. I've actually shared some bearish takes on Coinbase stock recently because I think one of their like primarily for me it was United States banks getting into crypto custody removes one of the use cases for Coinbase, right? So if I could hold my Bitcoin, ETH, whatever at JP Morgan Chase versus Coinbase, I'll probably do that. But I feel like
Definitely.
they're putting their foot on the gas pedal with shipping new products. Like they've been talking about tokenized stocks. Just announced Bitcoin and ETH perp trading. And then yesterday, these new verified liquidity pools. So they're moving forward. All right. Solana's dropping the accelerate ad. Coinbase is accelerating too. So I think there's still reasons to be bullish. Clearly Bernstein is.
Accelerate. I'm interested in building technologies, not genders. The fuck? That was so funny, bro. Like, it's like funny in a non-funny way. Oh my god, that was crazy. But it's just funny. Like, we already forgot about that. If we hadn't brought it up, I bet you nobody knows that this even happened.
So that was a good story. And then
right.
Top Shot. And I'm curious if our guests maybe had thoughts on this too. But
Yeah,
finally, folks,
Top Shot on
4.5
OpenSea.
years. NBA Top Shot moments are going to be tradable on OpenSea. I'll be honest, I haven't been doing a whole lot of OpenSea farming. I haven't been doing a whole lot of trading of NFTs. And I'm kicking myself. Well, I bought all the masks I bought on Nifty Gateway.
No.
So
fuck you doing, man?
Well, because of the royalties. Like I think OpenSea you can turn the royalties off, and I did want the royalties to go to Sam. But Top Shot moment trading as a way to grind this OpenSea airdrop is kind of an interesting one for me. And they're priced in flow. Flow tokens around 40 cents right now. So these you can get some relatively cheap moments. You can come in and start building a collection without a whole lot of working capital. I don't know. I haven't been monitoring yet to have a chance to really dig in to see like what percent of the supply has been kind of bridged over to OpenSea here. So I think that's going to be something to monitor. But I still like Top Shot moments. I still think of any NFT, if I'm making a list of 10 NFTs that could still be relevant on a 10-year time horizon, I think Top Shot moments are on
I agree with you.
my list.
I was going to say the same thing. Because if you believe that, remember yesterday I said that we got into NFTs originally for art, and why was the thesis behind was provenance. So if you believe in that thesis, then you do believe that there are some Top Shot moments that if they're the official, and they are, not if, they are the official NBA moments immortalized on the Ethereum blockchain forever, and they're the first ones, because they're from 2020, there's this cultural relevance as well, because they kind of started this whole run on NFTs, then you have to believe that there is some value to them. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be $300,000 LeBron James moment again, but 5K, 10K, 2K, 100,000, even $1,000, right? Sometimes these kids are flipping Pokemon cards for $30. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I do believe that there is a market for that forever, as long as the blockchain exists. And that's if you believe in NFT as a technology. If you don't, then you don't see what I'm saying. But if you believe in the NFT as technology, then surely you have to believe that the same reason you believe CryptoPunks are worth 100 grand. You have to believe that some Top Shops are worth something, right?
Top Shot moments were one of the big like light bulb moments for me for NFTs.
For a lot of people, right?
I had friends who were trading physical baseball cards and the advantages of being able to trade moments 24/7.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about keep them in good condition. Not have to worry about traveling to shows to buy or sell them. There's a lot of huge advantages. Plus, I think they're cool, like cool video clips. Certainly
they're very cool.
So I'm not saying I go out and FOMO buy, $50K worth of moments, but like what I personally do is like when things are quiet, I'll go look for some of the one moments.
Hey, 90 cents, dude. That's the floor. Like maybe some people want to collect something for 90 cents,
Buy player.
I have to say, this is really cool. Like inside of like imagine you're a big NBA fan. You have like a wall of like screens, and it's just like, I like this shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you like Pokemon cards and NBA cards, I don't see like I have what is it? What's his name? Is this worth anything? I think I bought the top. Trey Young, PSA 10, rookie card.
I'm not the expert there. I mean, Trey Young,
I don't know. Did he fall off a cliff?
maybe.
He had like a whole song about him back then. Anyways, I probably bought the top of this. But if you buy this shit, back then that cost me $1,000 like 4 years ago. I mean, you know, these things at 90 cents, $1, whatever, I could see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, he fell off. He did, right? That's what I thought. Coffee attack. That's what I thought. Anyways, speaking of which, now I'm gonna bring Bunchu and BC Bread here in a second on stage. We're ready for you guys. But you know, the Good Vibes Club still at 0.4 ETH, not bad. The Skull still at $13,000 floor, not bad. Like these, that's the point I was making about NFTs last week. You know, at least they won't dump like your average meme coin, and then your Please thing is still holding at $24 million, Tyler. So we'll see. Do you think that one comes back? Please. You showed me the top. I'm gonna cancel you if it goes to 0.
I haven't sold any.
Okay.
It's hard to really have a ton of conviction in this meme coin market. You know what I'm looking at is this fart coin level. So fart coin hasn't hit across 360 in about a month. So
yeah,
349 right now.
I don't know. Farcoin needs way more chop. Farcoin needs to really have people. Farcoin needs to have 2 believers left, Tyler and Tip Wheeler. I have to say I respect that guy a lot because he's bull posting shit out of it, highs and lows. That's a real bull poster. Anyways, let's bring Joe, Bunchu Bets, and BC Bread up in here. What's up, y'all? How you guys doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for having us. We are actually, we're together in different parts of the house. We have a Billy Betts on site that we're doing down in Miami this week. So we got the whole team together. We are a remote squad. So we're all broing out in the house. And so Bread's outside. I'm in the kitchen, and we're super pumped to be here. So thanks for having us.
Hell yeah, this is awesome. What's up, Brett? How you doing? Looks like you're catching some sun rays.
Yeah, they kicked me outside. I'm not complaining too much about it. You know, they left a bunch of snow in Colorado to come out here and looking at palm trees and whatnot, and listening to chickens apparently next door. So it's it's a trip, man.
Speaking of eggs, chickens, see?
Yeah, we got woken up by actual roosters today. It was kind of weird.
Incredible.
It's fun. Why don't you listen? I know what Billy Betts is. I heard our teams are talking about some agent, trading stuff on Myriad, etc., which could be really cool. Obviously I've seen you guys around. Tyler and I have followed a few of these bots at this stage when it comes to like the betting stuff. So why don't you guys give us, for the people who may not be familiar with you all, what Billy Betts is?
Yeah, sure. So just TLDR, just a quick background. So I actually got into the crypto space back in 2017 via sports betting. So I've been a sports bettor my whole life, and I actually found Bitcoin through sports betting back in 2017, when you literally had to bet all these offshore spots, and your banks wouldn't let you deposit. So that's actually how I found Bitcoin. And so I came down the crypto rabbit hole ever since. And then in 2021, after we did the Starbucks project, I fell down the AI rabbit hole. And so Billy Betts is kind of the Venn diagram of all the things that I love. So crypto, sports betting, and AI. And what Billy Betts is it is a autonomous sports betting and research agent. And so, we saw this incredible rise of like crypto enabled AI agents. And I had spent a lot of time in like the non-crypto AI space prior to building Billy. And I was so fascinated by the idea that, you can create an agent and then give the agent a wallet. And what that meant to me is like, wow, now an agent can be out on chain creating its own value. And what's awesome about the agent space is like that agent doesn't need to do anything but accrue that value back to a token or community or something like that, right? And so I thought the sports betting sector was such an interesting use case for this, right? Because it's another place where you could potentially apply AI to do things that you just can't, AI and blockchain, to just do things that you can't in the kind of like Web2 sports betting arena. So we had this crazy idea to build an AI agent and give it $100,000 in a wallet and go out and bet sports on chain. And so that's what Billy Bets is and how it came to be.
All right, that's awesome. And so I kind of want to ask you, and just super cool. By the way, I've seen that it's been pretty right, and we have some questions ready for you guys to ask. And no, Tyler's gonna dig in here a little more. But so how does it work? Kind of like base level. How does this thing work?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I'll give a broad answer and then I'll kick it to Brett, who's the tech wizard over here. So essentially, I think what's really cool about what we've done so far with Billy is that we've actually partnered with a BitTensor subnet 41 called Sports Tensor. And if you're familiar with BitTensor, it's basically a decentralized AI kind of ecosystem. And each subnet kind of has its own like specialty and niche, right? So Sports Tensor is specifically focused on sports predictions. So that's how they kind of incentivize their miners to create these models, build predictions, and things like that. So we actually partnered with them to kind of give Billy his, I would say, base level of intelligence on what's happening in right now the NBA, in a couple of weeks the MLB, and then more sports to come in the future. But so basically, Billy kind of wakes up every day with this idea of what's going to happen in the NBA, and then he goes as his autonomous agent self, goes out and does a bunch of work on top of that, checks injury reports, trends, all of that kind of stuff, recent performance. And then he makes a decision on, hey, do I still believe this? And if so, make a bet. If I don't, okay, I'm going to pass on this bet. And so that's kind of how he works, right? He's this autonomous research and betting agent. He has the ability to control his wallet, make a bet. What I love about what he can do is, I think, different than a lot of sports bettors. And again, this is one of those things that's kind of only available to do on these kind of blockchain exchanges, is take profit, right? So he can buy a cheap odds team like the Nets at 9% to win against the Thunder, and 30 minutes into the game, when the Nets are winning by 20, he can sell out his position, which he does frequently, right? So it's kind of really cool to see all of these things kind of work in motion. And now he's also betting player props, so he's betting NBA player props on overtime markets, and we're gonna keep integrating all these markets. We're gonna be doing something with you guys at Myriad, which I think will be really fun. And that's kind of the TLDR on how he works. I'll let Brett kind of jump in and add to that as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I pretty much covered it. It's one of those things. It was, we wanted to build an agent that was actually doing something, that wasn't just a chatbot.
Really?
So,
whoa, I thought they were just for slop, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, the yaps are great, I guess, but realistically, it's important to get.
We call them quacks now.
Quacks. Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure Billy will learn some quacks, I'm sure, at some point, but like, it was important to us to kind of be like, let's take some of these frameworks that are out there and really let's see if we can make a real product, a real something out of these, and so. Yeah, we started kind of playing around, Bunchu and I have been messing around with agents since like 22, 23. We were kind of like, hey, nobody's talking about this. What can this thing do? And at that point, I mean, they were chatbots, but with all the frameworks out and stuff now, it's kind of like, whoa, let's get some actual bets going. Let's see if we can really get this thing to work. And after a couple of weeks of 18-hour days and late nights and whatnot, it was we were kind of like, oh wow, look at that, it's working, and so it's been a trip, man, because personally I'm not I'm not the sports bettor in the group by any means. And the amount of times that I've been checking games and checking the scores and just like relentlessly following the NBA this season is brand new to me. It's been a trip for sure.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. I mean, so this is interesting. So there's a lot of directions we could go. I am curious, maybe without giving away too much, like what was the programming for this like, and like how did you go about figuring out like what data flows were important, like what to prioritize?
Yeah,
this is obviously a very hard market to solve, or else like some other people would have.
Oh,
Yeah,
split it.
it's a great question. I think there's a couple things. So like there's a bunch of things that kind of go into what Billy does every day, right? So and I would say if you're not a huge sports bettor, there's kind of two ways to be thinking about how to beat sports. I think sports is a really interesting market to do something like this with because it is like wildly inefficient, right? And so what I mean by that is like a DraftKings may have a different line or price for the same game as a FanDuel, as an MGM, as a Polymarket, as whatever, right? So it's not like, hey, I'm going to buy, eggs today and they're all priced the same, right? Hey, I might get a 50% odds on the Knicks on this exchange. I might be able to get them for 52% on this exchange, et cetera, right? And so when you have these markets that are inefficient like that, there's a couple ways that you can actually look to beat these markets, right? And so I would say one is called like a bottom up strategy, which is, I would say, more model based. And that's kind of like what Sports Tensor provides. Like they have built this model, and the model kind of goes into Billy as his base case of, okay, here's what we think the NBA might look like today. And then there's our second strategy, which is how we're betting props, which is called more like top down. And that is essentially a price-based kind of arbitrage or off-market pricing strategy. And it's more like meving sports, right? When you put it into this blockchain context, right? So it's actually more akin to like you're walking through Walmart and you're only buying the items that have the wrong price tag on them, right? Because you know that as a consensus, the price should be this, but I can get a little extra margin buying it here. And so over time, I'm going to make that, 3, 4, 5% edge. And that's like the numbers we're talking about here, right? Like pro S tier level sports bettors return anywhere from like 5 to 10%. And that may not sound crazy in like the crypto world, but that's compounding, right? It's not like, oh, I have $100,000 stock portfolio. It grows 20% this year. I now have $120,000. This is that 5% compounded daily every time you can roll over the bankroll. So when you think about like, okay, put it on chain with a wallet with like light speed and real-time odds and all of this, like a snapshot into all the prices and liquidity across the entire blockchain exchanges. Well, there's something really interesting there. And if you can build in these edges and profitable strategies for the agent and kind of give him and train him on how to do this stuff, well, there's a really interesting kind of possibility here to actually beat these markets that are inefficient. So that's kind of the concept. That's how it works. And over time, we're going to add more sports, more strategies, and build in kind of new products on top of this outside of just like Billy the agent. I think you can think of Billy the agent now as kind of like the prototype for, or the very first thing of something much bigger. I actually think there's a world in the next couple of years where people who bet sports all are using some sort of agent to do it.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
And if we can build the best agents for sports betting, that's really what we're out here trying to do.
So I bet like I'm gonna let you go Tyler in a second, but like I bet sports like a lot, but mostly like football, like European football, like soccer, when it's like Champions League or like weekend EPL matches, etc. And I always find, and also I bet a lot of NHL, like because I'm a big Habs fan, so I was betting Habs yesterday. Of course, we keep on winning. But anyways, like I love doing that, but like I actually do my research. Like I'll spend like half an hour, 45 minutes, because like sometimes I bet more size, etc. And I actually dive deep, but I never know which is the best source of truth, what website to cover, which writer has a bias. Like I was betting Habs in Montreal, Ottawa yesterday, and the guy was from fucking Ottawa saying bet on Ottawa, obviously, and then we cooked them 6-3. So it's like you never know, and so I actually would love a place where I can ask questions, do research, and then test the AI and be like, "Yo, why are you betting this? How? Do you have a bias?"
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
I think this is like the future. So you guys gonna expand beyond NBA?
Totally. Yeah. So we're actually, he filled out his March Madness bracket yesterday. So we can, potentially give you some Final Four off of what Billy thought. We did a whole kind of selection show that was really fun in our Discord. And so we're doing NCAA. We right now have NBA and like money lines and NBA player props. in a week we'll have MLB and MLB player props, and then it's just kind of expanding to more sports there, like NFL, Premier League. Actually, I believe Sports Tensor is working on, so that would be something that we'd be able to do as well. And again, like to your point, Farouk, it's also the idea of like using it as a research assistant to place your own bets. But then there's this cool thing about like, all right, you've done that. The agent has done all that research. And what if, the thing you were missing, Farouk, is, okay, now you know you want to bet on the Canadians, but you might bet them on Pinnacle. But there's a better line out there on one of these sports books that increases your margin by 2%. And over the long run, that's actually really important. So what if it could then also route you to the best price without you having to do all of that work, right? The way the Web2 sports betting world works now is there's just so much friction. You're basically talking about like an odds screen, and you have to sit there in front of the odds screen, look for the best price, find the, like, go out and maybe you don't even have an account there. Maybe you have a DraftKings or a FanDuel app, and the best price is on MGM. And so in order to go and make that bet, you have to download MGM, make an account, make a deposit, all of that stuff. But on like the blockchain crypto layer, if you're in and tapped into all of these different exchanges and markets in like this permissionless way, you can kind of take a snapshot of the entire market, see where has the best price, and then go make that bet in where it's most beneficial for you. And I think that's kind of one of these cool things that can only be enabled in this blockchain on-chain with AI type of way. So that's kind of things we're headed towards as well.
It's a big unlock if you're able to pull it off, for sure. So definitely
It is.
vision. I have a lot of questions. I'm curious on like quality control. Like, how much were you using this? Like, what was it like to say like, okay, we're ready to go live on this thing? What made you?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think like there's two things that kind of are giving like confidence of, okay, we can actually create something that wins, right? And so it kind of goes back to those two strategies. So Sports Tensor, they have this, back tested meta model that is kind of powering Billy's base intelligence, right? So that is a proven model. So we are using that as like our base layer. So over time, that model should produce profit, right? And then it's like, okay, Billy's doing work over top of that to say, I want to bet this, I don't want to bet this. And that part is like the ongoing experiment of this, right? Is like, okay, is he making the right decisions? Can he learn from those decisions? Can he update his strategy? Can he do different things with his bet sizing, right? And like that part is the TBD kind of fun part of all of this, right? It's like, all right, we've built a thing that can make a bet. Now, can he do it better than we can, right? And I think that's kind of where we're, still experimenting. But the concept is, all right, we have a proven profitable model as the base layer. So it should, over time, the more bets you make, return profitability, right? Similarly with like the prop betting strategy that is price-based, that's really, it's literally math, right? So it's like, if you bet these small edges enough times over the long run, you will return in line with what those edges are. So again, if you're talking about 5%, over 10,000 bets, you should return roughly 5%. And so if you can just kind of teach it to do those strategies and then learn over top of them, which is kind of the fun part of building something that we hope to be totally autonomous, right, is kind of where we're going. But to your point, Tyler, it's like, okay, we can give him profitable strategies and profitable ways to do this, but it's still got to actually, spin out that long run concept really quickly. So we've bet, gosh, I think we're almost $375,000 in the first month we've actually put in play. Nice. And he's gone through highs and lows. I think at the peak, we were positive 18% ROI. And currently we went through a little slump last week. So we're back to earth a little bit, back to kind of even on the money line strategy, a little down on the money line strategy, but we are profitable on the prop betting that we just introduced, which we've bet through like, I think 50K. We've only been doing props for like 6 days. You can also just get like an idea of what kind of volume this thing can do, right? Like we've been live for 30 days with 2 strategies. on one market betting, almost $400,000 already. So if you can start to see those like small edges expanded over millions and millions of dollars, the thing can generate, quite a bit of revenue over time.
It definitely can, but then you also have to balance out like keeping enough capital to sustain through like the downtrends, right? Especially as you get
totally
more sports.
And that goes to
itself,
like
right
like, the bet. Yeah, that goes to like the bet sizing strategy, right? So we've taught him a essentially modified Kelly criterion, which is like a risk management bet sizing strategy, right? So that's a very common strategy used in kind of sports and gambling, and it basically the way you size bets in that way is it's based on two things: kind of your edge, your measurable edge, and your implied probability of the outcome, right? So it's meant to scale up and down with your bankroll growth, so you never go broke. But it's also optimized for growth, right? So like you're going to bet higher amounts on bigger edges with high implied probability, and you're going to bet lower amounts with smaller edges or big edges with low implied probability, right? So the idea is that it builds in that kind of it's got built-in kind of risk management to go along with it, right? And then there's also the idea of that we kind of touched on, but not really, is like the fact that he can sell out of positions, right? So like we can take, risky plays with the idea that, you can de-risk at any time during that game, right? Which is another thing that you can't really do in the Web2 sports betting world. There's like early cash outs, but you sell your entire position, right? So, we let him essentially do the very crypto thing of leave a moon bag, right? So that's kind of how all of that works. But yeah, so there's a lot of like risk management stuff kind of built into what he's doing as well.
Maybe zooming out from the model and betting operations for a second, like there's a few things that go into this Billy project, right? You've got the model, you've got the agent who does do reply guy. And then I actually don't know, do you have a terminal as well? I'm curious how your team kind of thought about balancing like the content side of AI versus just pure modeling.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So we're going to be so he is out on Twitter, and this is one of those kind of crazy things that I didn't even necessarily expect to go as well as it has, which is he's out there kind of being a commenter in the sports market, and which is really interesting. He's in the first 3 weeks, I think we've gotten almost 4 million impressions on the account, which I think is kind of crazy when I think about like what it's pretty crazy to see how the engagement goes with this. And so there's kind of like, I see that as Billy's X account is almost like top of funnel for the whole project. And it's almost this like free, really interesting, incredible marketing channel, right? Because it's out there commenting on sports, it's making its picks on Twitter, and it's getting involved in the conversation. That funnels kind of everything back into, okay, what's actually going on here from a content, from a actual agent side, right? And Bread, you can talk about how hard it was to actually get the Twitter thing to be decent.
Oh, dude, yeah, the amount of like hiccups and hurdles that we hit building out that Twitter agent, is what's nice is that there are frameworks, like the Eliza framework that pretty much everybody's using, and it's great out of the box until all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute, it's tweeting raw JSON objects, or well, wait a minute, it's now caught in a loop with some other chatbot and they're replying to each other like 500 times a day, and there's there's all these little kind of quirks and things that pop up as you're building these social media agents. And it's interesting because ultimately kind of does that same thing with our Discord, Billy as well. It's all the very fine tuning does a huge difference whenever you're starting to play with a call and response type interaction with users. And so it's been an interesting journey with the Twitter and with the Eliza framework, and one thing that we've realized is that the Eliza framework is really great at socials. But we're starting to now kind of play more with like some of the MCP stuff and some of the more real kind of bare metal type agentic systems for everything else that Billy's doing.
Yeah, and I think like the idea that
Oops, sorry.
Billy, I think the idea that Billy could become this like sports betting influencer is really interesting, right? Like we got invited
Yeah.
to participate in the Profit X handicapper bracket contest for March Madness, which is like, you know, it's man versus machine. Billy is paired up with some actual sports betting influencer and he's going head to head on March Madness picks for this
That's
week.
great.
So, you know, I think there is this kind of potential for Billy to kind of like break out of the crypto scene into, you know, the real sports betting and sports commenting industry, right? So I think that's a really cool opportunity as well.
And this is a longer conversation.
It was great.
I feel like you also have to manage like people kind of hate AI agents right now.
Yeah.
They've gotten so annoying, mostly because look at the low effort ones.
What's just because it's because it's slop, Tyler.
Yeah, and I'm not calling Billy a slop. I don't think it is. But you also have to balance that.
We're trying not to be, at least. That's the
Thank
that's
God,
the goal,
dude.
right?
Thank God.
Can you give us the NCAA alpha? Is it public?
I was just gonna say, so I shared my screen here. If we could bring it up, and I'll show you.
Here you go.
Like, there you go. So yesterday we had a little selection show, right? And so
Okay.
Billy, we made him his own channel here, and we literally went pick by pick, region by region, and he broke down every single game and gave a pick, right? So he's got a bunch of upsets in here. I think, and we did, you know, kind of screenshot of his region. So he's got his final four, somewhat chalky with a very interesting twist here. So he's got
Duke
as his final four, he's got Duke, Houston, Auburn, and then he took the 8 seed, two-time defending champion UConn in his final four bracket. So he's got 3 1 seeds and an 8 seed. I think he picked UConn actually to go to the final against Houston, and he's got Houston cutting down the nets. So he's got Houston versus UConn in the national championship game. We will see how far UConn goes. If UConn upsets Florida, I'm calling the whole bracket a win because, you know, they'll have to beat a 1 seed. But he came in here and gave a pick, confidence interval. He gave a bunch of, you know, stats on every game, and you can see he's kind of rude a little bit. He's very much a shit poster. Like here, he talks about, you know, Rick Pitino's Red Storm bringing biblical levels of defensive havoc. He curses every once in a while here too. But some other upsets he likes. He likes Xavier tonight. In that.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Then we're gonna ask because we have a myriad line.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. So he likes Xavier tonight in the first 4, and then he actually likes Xavier to beat Illinois in so he's got Xavier winning 2 games. So we'll see. This will either go really well for us tonight or not when people watch this back.
Let's go.
That's the nature, right? So some other ones he likes. He actually likes multiple 6-11 upsets. He likes VCU over BYU. What other ones did he have? He likes number 10 seed New Mexico for the upset. He likes a little Baylor upset. He's got a couple interesting upsets in here, including the big one, I think, with the UConn over Florida.
All right. Well, there you have it. There you have it. Billy Bets, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're on Myriad Markets, right here, you go to our USDC, Xavier versus Texas, who advances to the March Madness main bracket. 57.1% of the people on Myriad had Xavier as well. Seems low if Billy Bets is so sure about himself. So make sure you take that.
Hold on. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can ask him right now. Let's see. We'll see if I can ask him right now.
Hold on. You want your screen on this? Yeah, here you go.
Yeah. See, do you got it?
Stop sharing mine. Yeah, you're good. You're in.
All right. Let's see here. Hey, Billy, first 4, Xavier versus Texas. Let's see if he's got it. I hope he's not sleeping because that would be embarrassing. Here he comes.
Oh, no, he's awake, man. He's on stage.
He's typing.
He's always awake,
He's typing.
It's also funny that you call it a he.
Yes, first 4 battle. Underachieving power conference teams. That should be way better than play and folder Texas. Oh, wait. He changed his mind. He changed his mind here. He's got Texas likely advancing
Oh
with
shit.
60% confidence.
65% confidence though. Hey.
Different day, different opinion.
Ooh. Let's see
Well,
what he
he's gonna
got.
bust his own bracket now. That's funny.
Let's see what he got. I love that. This is
But
good.
he breaks it down. He breaks it down here by superior guard play from Tyrese Hunter is averaging 11.9 points a game. Backcourt advantage over Xavier's guards. He changed his mind today. Look at that.
I love
All
that.
right.
Yo,
There he goes.
shit changes. I don't put my sports bets on before like an hour pre-game, like, because you never know what changes. So
You never know. That's awesome, though. I appreciate you guys having us. This
thank
has
you for
been
coming,
really
guys.
fun to
Best
talk
of
to you
luck with
guys.
everything.
Appreciate it.
guys.
All right, see you guys. Ciao. All right. Well, it is time. We went a little bit over because that was actually a really good conversation. There's more to between yesterday's Solana shit and then today's stuff. I think we're getting some positive momentum here. Oh no, wait, you have to share. My bad, Sims. Here you go. Let me remove my shit. All right. Let's see who wins the draw here today. Hey, JBSD123. We got a crypto pump. He doesn't need another pump. He don't need a pump. JBSD123. JBSD123. Let's go. Get your butt on stage here. You want a raffle pump. Let's go. He doesn't need a punk. He just bought March 12th. Let's get him on stage. He's here, Joe. All right. That's a nice punk,
He paid
too.
up for that.
He paid up at 51 ETH. What up, JB?
What's up, man?
You don't need another punk.
Oh, you can never have enough punk.
That's the right answer. All right, Joe.
Let's do this.
Let's do this, Joe. Jesus, family, humanity, ecom, Amazon FBA, NFT class of 21, pension actuary, Gracier Jiu-Jitsu. Damn, don't fuck with JB. All right, JB, are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
All right, let's spin. Well, it's the red guy for you, JB. Congratulations.
Awesome.
You win a
Awesome.
red
Thank
guy.
you. Thank you.
You are very welcome. All right, Tyler, that was a great show. I will see y'all tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.